Live from KSAT12, the news at noon starts right now.
And we want to start the news at noon with new details coming from the Kerrville Police Department about a body found yesterday in the Guadalupe River.
That body now identified as 25-year-old Joshua Michael Talley. He was a resident of Kerrville. He was spotted by a DPS helicopter around 2 p.m. in Nimitz Lake, which is connected to the Guadalupe River. Dive crews were able to recover the body. Talley had not been seen since December 25th. An autopsy report is still pending, and it's an ongoing investigation. We are also learning more information about a car crash that could be a harsh lesson if you speed. 2 people died in the car they were in when it smashed into a tree on the city's far northwest side this morning.
Our Camila Juarez was at the scene this morning, and she now joins us live here in the studio. So, Camila, what we know about the 2 people that were killed, and what was the biggest factor in this car crash?
David, Ursula, we now know that both people involved were men. One was 19 years old and the other was 25. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office is still working to identify those people, but take a look at the scene from earlier. The car is crushed up against the tree. San Antonio police got a call around 2 this morning. When police arrived, they found 2 people dead inside the car. The car was traveling down Braun Road from 1604 when it crashed into that tree. Braun Road was blocked off during the early morning hours for the investigation. Extra fire crews were brought to cut up the car and see if anyone else was inside. It was just the 19 and 25-year-old. San Antonio police believe speeding may have been involved, but they are still investigating. We're working to learn the names of those 2 men killed, and we'll have updates when that information comes in. David, Ursula.
Thank you, Camila. New at noon, Converse police investigating a robbery of an armored vehicle in Converse.
This happening near Crestway and Walnut Basin. That's right near Converse Elementary School. Garrett Berger is there. Garrett, what else can you tell us about this robbery attempt?
Well, I can tell you it didn't start here. This is where the car ended up. The armored truck was actually taken away just a few minutes ago, but police were saying that the truck and its 2 guards were up Crestway over on FM 78, stopping on an AutoZone. While one of the guards was inside the store, thieves were able to get into the truck and force the other guard to drive over here. Now, police believe there was a getaway car here, but they don't have details on what it looked like. The driver was taken to the hospital because one of the robbers hit him with their gun. But no shots were fired, police tell us. And there is camera footage.
We do have camera footage that we are trying to obtain at this point. Now, regarding the quality and how helpful it may or may not be until we actually have an opportunity to look at it.
Police believe that there were up to 4 robbers involved, all of them armed. Now, this is not the first kind of armored car theft that we've had in this area. We're going to be looking more into that later tonight. Live in Northeast Bexar County, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Garrett. A woman in the hospital after getting shot in the leg. San Antonio police say it happened along the 1000 block of San Fernando Street on the west side near Apache Creek. The woman in her 50s was taken to the University Hospital, expected to be okay. SAPD believes an ongoing problem between apartments could have led up to that shooting, but so far there's no word on any suspects. And a man is in the hospital after being hit by a train on the city's west side this morning. San Antonio police got the call just before 6 this morning at the corner of Village Place near Highway 90. Police said the train was traveling northbound, and the conductor told police he didn't see the man walking on the tracks, and that man was found with critical injuries. He was taken to BAMC. Crime scene investigators are still looking into that incident.
District 10 City Council person Clayton Perry now officially booked for DWI for that hit and run crash that happened in early November. Perry admitting that he was involved in that wreck in his Jeep Wrangler, which hit a Honda Civic head on. Perry's accused of driving away from the scene without giving information. But the body camera footage from the encounter later with police led to calls for his resignation from City Council. A first-time DWI charge is considered a Class B misdemeanor. It carries a maximum fine of $3,000 along with a 6-month jail sentence. Perry paid bail. He is out of jail a week after that crash and the subsequent release of the body cam footage. Perry was then the subject of a no confidence vote by fellow San Antonio City Council members. Perry took a temporary leave of absence. Mike Gallagher was announced as his temporary replacement on December 1st. KSAT has reached out to Councilman Perry for comment on this new arrest and charge. So far, he has not responded. San Antonio police and Crime Stoppers asking the public to get some help in locating a suspect accused of robbing a Wingstop at gunpoint. It happened back on November 5th at 4622 West Commerce Street. Police say the suspect was looking through the front window of the Wingstop restaurant when he saw money being counted. That's when the suspect ran in, demanded the cash, and then pointed a gun at the victim. The suspect took the money, took off. If you have any information, you're being asked to call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP.
And keep looking at your screen because Crime Stoppers is also asking for your help in finding this man. He's accused of taking multiple items from a family dollar store located on 5802 Calabar Road. San Antonio police say the suspect refused to pay for the items and threatened employees. He then left the store with those items. Again, the number to call, 210-224-STOP, if you have any information that can help police with these cases. Texas Water Utilities is now slowly turning the tap back on for customers. It's working to lift boil water notices issued this week. Several subdivisions got water back over the last couple of days. Many homeowners in Bandera County are still waiting for the good news. That includes the Lake Medina Shores neighborhood. Some homeowners say they haven't had water. Some have had it or they've had it on and off again. All that since last Thursday and Friday.
See, the water's not on at all. There's nothing.
There was no hype to get Christmas dinner made because I couldn't do dishes. It's not a want, it's a need, it's a necessity. Come and fix these pipes.
Other subdivisions currently under a boil water notice: Holiday Villages of Medina in Bandera County, Oak Ridge and Verde Park Estates in Kerr County, and the Oaks North Mobile Home Estates in Bexar County.
The family of Poteet police officer Jeffrey Richardson has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against a suspected drunk driver and the bar that served her. Back in June, Richardson was working a contract job near the Domain Shopping Center in Austin. Officials say that Lindsay Smith was driving a car that hit and killed him. The lawsuit claims that she drove through several large orange barrel traffic barricades and then struck the officer, Richardson. The Richardson family attorney, Stephen Stewart, says Smith chose to drink and drive, putting those on the road in danger. He also claims the bar she was at, Jack and Ginger's, continued to serve her even though she was overly drunk. The family now seeking more than $1 million in damages. Before we head to the break, we want to remind you about a KSAT special on our KSAT photojournalists. We are going behind the lens. You get a chance to meet some of our photojournalists. It's a 1-hour special. It is tonight at 9 p.m. presented by our very talented staff. And they're going to tell you what stories they remembered the most in 2022 and take you behind the scenes on what goes into covering the stories that you see here on KSAT 12. We'll be right back. Now to that travel nightmare that's still underway with Southwest. Cancellations continuing for Southwest Air passengers in the wake of that historic Christmas storm.
The airline canceling more than 2,300 flights today, with many passengers unable to rebook flights and find missing luggage. ABC's Alex Christoforous has us when this might come to an end.
Another day of frustration for Southwest Airlines passengers.
Overall, it's just been chaos.
Over the last week, the airline canceling more than 15,000 flights after the massive storm. And the CEO saying it could be next week before the flight schedule returns to normal.
Clearly, we need to double down on our already existing plans to upgrade systems for these extreme circumstances so that we never again face what's happening right now.
Exhausted travelers like Paul Shelby unable to rebook or even find their luggage.
They didn't give us our luggage, so these clothes have been on us for 4 days.
Southwest blaming the problems on the powerful winter storm, but its pilots association says outdated scheduling software and infrastructure also played a role. The carrier now facing a federal investigation for the system meltdown, directing passengers to their website to request refunds and reimbursements for things like rental cars, meals, and hotels. And today, another apology, this time from Southwest's chief commercial officer, who renewed the airline's commitment to reimburse passengers for expenses they've incurred during the system meltdown. In New York, Alexis Christoforous, ABC News.
Outside with live cam. Ooh, well, the blue sky is gone.
Yeah, it is,
Where'd it
but
go?
temperatures are still quite unseasonably warm. Is that correct?
Above average, yeah. You know, you woke up this morning, you're thinking, man, what is going on here? Temperatures were in the 60s. It's like a complete 180 from those teens and 20s we were seeing just a few days ago. It was a warm start, very humid out there. The aquifer does not change today. It's at 637 even. In your pollen count, Mount Cedar, it jumped up a little bit today. It's in a moderate category at 120. Mulder low at 370. What does the new year bring? Does anything change, and will we have some rain chances? We look at all of it coming up.
The Vatican now revealing that former Pope Benedict XVI's health is worsening, and doctors are now monitoring his condition.
Pope Francis visiting the 95-year-old and asking the faithful to pray for him. ABC's Marcus Moore has more on former Pope Benedict's condition.
This morning, an extraordinary moment in history. People across the globe and here at the Vatican praying amid news the Pope Emeritus Benedict's health is declining.
I think he was a great Pope, really. I admire him a lot.
Pope Francis saying the former pontiff is very ill, asking for prayers. The Holy See telling reporters Wednesday Pope Francis did visit Benedict XVI at his home at the Vatican because his condition had worsened over the last few hours. Benedict was seen visibly frail earlier this month, and in August, Pope Francis was with Benedict meeting the new cardinals. Benedict was the 5th oldest pope elected in the church's history back in 2005 at the age of 78 and is known for his traditional writings. He sent shockwaves across the Roman Catholic Church when he announced his resignation in 2013, the first to do so in 600 years. His sudden retirement potentially paving the way for future popes to step down too.
It was a very, as I said, humble and bold move and generous move for Benedict to resign. I think a gift for future popes.
Italian media is reporting that Pope Benedict is in serious but stable condition. It's been nearly 10 years since he retired, but he is still a prominent figure in the Roman Catholic Church and the focus of intense prayers. Marcus Moore, ABC News, the Vatican.
Took all the coverings off all the plants, thinking it, and they're going to think it's spring. That's what's going to happen, you know.
You think?
We're confusing those things.
Is it possible that we already had our winter and off we go into spring?
Possible, but it's impossible to say for sure. You know, we typically get a big cold snap. Sometimes we get 2 of them, but it's just hard to say. We know that this winter will probably, when we average it out, be a little bit above average. That's what La Nina tells us. But we still could get another cold snap. Again, it's just no way to know. As we look at the radar right now, we've got some showers working their way up across the coastal plains east of San Antonio. We expected to see at least a few light returns there this afternoon, and that is coming to fruition. Nothing that's going to be very heavy, but if you're watching us from Gonzales or Cuero, down towards the Victoria area, you may get a brief splash and dash today with these showers, and they'll quickly move off to the north and northeast. As far as San Antonio is concerned, can't rule out a shower, but I doubt that we see much at all, with the bulk of it being east of I-35 and east of I-37, really, as we go into the afternoon. Here's the satellite picture. We've got quite a bit of cloud cover, so we've got the low clouds, and then on top of that, we've got high clouds that will continue to stream through. We still probably will see some peaks of sun today, which will boost temperatures a little bit, but more clouds than sun in the forecast. Right now we're at 69, so already well on our way to the 70s. 73 in New Braunfels with a little bit of sun showing up there. 71 Hondo, some sun in Uvalde. 68 degrees there and 67 in Kerrville. Around Bexar County, right at that 70-degree mark, if not a little bit warmer in places like Randolph and down towards Stinson. Dew points. Boy, what a change this has been. Dew points have increased a ton, not just since yesterday, but you remember we had dew points in the negatives, below zero, earlier this week, and now we're seeing dew points above 60, so that puts us in the muggy territory. It feels very, very different out there. But that's one of the main reasons that we saw warmer temperatures this morning, is we had those higher dew points. And as we look across the state of Texas, kind of a dry line setting up now, very dry air out to the west, and then you got more moist air across East Texas. The higher dew points really won't last. We'll see this dry line kind of shift through tonight, and that brings in some drier air for tomorrow. And we're also seeing some shower activity. Now, most of this is probably not reaching the ground. It's this that we're watching, these showers, and even a few thunderstorms. This afternoon, there's a risk for a couple of strong storms across far east Texas, but that does not include us. Here, just mostly cloudy, and there is that small chance of seeing a shower here in Bexar County. This is at 3 o'clock. Does show a little bit of something there, but most everything else east of town. As we get into this evening, that'll certainly be the case, and still more clouds tomorrow. It's going to be fairly cloudy going into our Friday, but there is a chance of seeing some light activity working its way through during the day tomorrow. 10 to 20% chance. Won't add up to much. And by the time we get into Friday evening, that's when skies begin to clear, and we'll head into a beautiful weekend. So New Year's Eve and New Year's Day looking really nice with temperatures in the 70s. Your KSAT 12-hour forecast: 72 at 2 o'clock, 73 3 p.m., 67 6 o'clock, 64 7 p.m. We'll call it cloudy, but again, there could be a few peaks of sun here and there. Rain chances really on the low end all the way through this forecast. If you're heading out to do some tailgating today at the Alamo Dome, 60s this evening. The game, of course, gets underway at 8, but if you're going to be out there tailgating a little bit earlier, weather looks good for that. Shouldn't have any problems. Just going to be somewhat humid to start, then less humid by the evening. Northeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Extended forecast. We'll go 70 tomorrow, 76 Saturday, 78 Sunday. As we mentioned, ringing in New Year's with great weather. And then there is another chance for some rain as we head into Monday. 20% chance. Temperatures near 80 on Monday, before cooling down a bit Tuesday and Wednesday.
Thank you, Justin.
We're going to talk about that game coming up. We're also going to talk about the Cowboys getting ready for the Titans in a very strange kind of matchup tonight. And the Spurs are trying to get a win to keep another bad streak from happening.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Yeah, the Cowboys in Nashville ready to do a little picking and grinning. Pick up a win and grin all the way back home. It's a hee-haw reference, in case you didn't know. It is the kind of weird situation for the Titans, though. This game will not affect the Titans' playoff hopes, which will be decided by the outcome of their Week 18 game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The winner will claim the AFC South, advance to the playoffs. At 11-4, the Cowboys have secured a playoff berth, and they still have a shot at winning the NFC East. They have to win out. The Eagles have to lose. Tennessee has ruled out 7 players, including quarterback Ryan Tannehill tonight, and running back Derrick Henry is also doubtful with a hip injury. Dak talked about how tough it is to get ready for this one tonight.
Honestly, I don't ever really care what they're doing on the other side. As I just said, it's about us just building momentum, grabbing confidence with each game that we do, and just moving forward, as I said, as we play these last 2 out and head over into the postseason. If they want to roll us the ball a couple of times and let us go from there, I'm all for that. So we'll take it however they want to do it.
David Vincent Williams, who was involved in a nasty car wreck a week ago, full participant in practice this week. He is expected to play tonight. Kickoff 7:15. All right, get your popcorn ready because wide receiver Terrell Owens wants to return to the NFL. His agent Greg Daniel told SA.com that they've been in constant communication with the office of Cowboys owner Jerry Jones during the last few days about T.O.'s possible return. He's 49. He last played in the NFL in 2010. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame back in 2018. Spurs third-year shooting guard Devin Vassell led the team with 20 points in the Spurs 130-114 loss at OKC. That's his second straight 20-point game and his 16th this season. Win or to lose, the Spurs know they can count on him. Playing in a sub-500 season, Vassell has definitely been a bright spot for San Antonio. He's second on the team, averaging 19.6 points per game.
His progression has been excellent, but it isn't by mistake. Like, he really is a gym rat and done a good job of buying in on this whole development program that the Spurs are trying to be aggressive with.
And the Spurs need to keep it up. Tonight they host the Knicks at 7. New York comes to town after losing in Dallas. 126 to 121 in overtime. That's when Luka Doncic had 60 points, 21 rebounds, 10 assists for the Mavs, the first 60-20-10 triple-double in NBA history. So hopefully that wore the Knicks out, and they'll just not be ready to go tonight. Still coming up, a man ready and waiting to get a heart transplant taken away from him in just hours. How the dreadful winter weather affected his chances of getting that new heart.
The Alamo Bowl is here, and if you aren't going in person, you can watch the game on ESPN. But what if you don't get that channel? Well, you might be turning to a free streaming service thinking it's no harm at all. Well, today at 5, 12 Other Side's Marilyn Moritz explains how that simple click to stream could be gambling a lot more than you think, and the alternatives to make sure you don't miss your favorite matchup.
The death toll in Cambodia after the Grand Diamond City Hotel and Casino fire has risen to at least 19. That is according to officials, and at least 70 are injured. Rescues continue to search for victims. They are expecting the death toll to continue rising. Many people became trapped in that building because the hotel used an electric system for rooms and elevators. So officials say when the fire started, the building lost electricity, causing people to become trapped inside their rooms.
Multiple regions of Ukraine, including its capital, facing a massive Russian missile attack today. That's according to the Ukrainian military. They say that the great majority of the cruise missiles fired at Ukraine today, 54 of them were intercepted. Russia launched air and sea-based cruise missiles, along with attacking Ukraine's infrastructure facilities. Those staying in and around the capital of Ukraine are being warned about power outages after the strike, and they're being told to stock up on water to make sure their electronic devices are charged as well.
In South Korea, 5 people are dead, 37 injured after a truck collided with a bus on a highway near the South Korean capital, causing a fire. Officials say 3 of the injured were in critical condition. At this time, no word on what caused that collision.
A former Minneapolis police officer has now been charged with beating a man during the 2020 protests over the George Floyd's death. Justin Stetson has been charged with 1 count of felony assault. Stetson's accused of kicking and punching a man in the head repeatedly, along with slamming his head into the pavement. Police say that Stetson and others were patrolling in an unmarked van 5 nights after George Floyd's murder, shooting less lethal rubber bullets at people. So far, there's been no word yet from the victim's attorney.
The severe winter weather that has slammed most of the continental U.S., causing a travel nightmare for people across the nation, including one man who missed his heart transplant because of the weather. Just 3 weeks ago, Patrick Holland, battling congestive heart failure, was put on the active transplant list. Last Thursday evening, he got the call from UW Heart Institute that a heart was available for him. Doctors in Seattle gave Holland an 8-hour window to get to the hospital. He booked the next flight, and once he got to the airport, his overnight flight canceled.
I think I cried more that day than I have in my life, and had exerted every emotion that I've never had. To get out of that funk, I immediately said, thank God there's going to be a family that saving someone's dad, saving someone's brother, saving someone's uncle, you know?
After 3 canceled flights in Anchorage, the window for a new heart closed. Holland says he will return to Seattle in a couple of weeks and stay so that he doesn't miss out on another chance for a new heart.
And that's just heartbreaking. Meantime, here in San Antonio, we have not had the severe weather that the rest of the country has had to deal with. Just some clouds and up to 70 degrees.
It's warm. I was thinking all those people that are coming from Seattle, right, for the Valero Alamo Bowl are thinking, man, this is nice. It's 40 right now in Seattle and raining. So this is an improvement here in San Antonio. Welcome to all those who are visiting San Antonio right now. I do want to look across the country because we just talked about the flight delays, and we've heard so many of the stories just like that one. Not great. There are no delays at any of the major hubs except for San Francisco. We are seeing a delay there, and they're getting some weather there across parts of California, some gusty winds, some rain, and that may be causing some problems. And that's just because these don't say that there are delays doesn't mean you're not going to experience delays across the country. There's still many of them. But as far as the hubs and the major cities are concerned, everyone's doing okay except for San Francisco when it comes to weather. As we go outside for you right now, the sun's trying to peek through some of those high clouds that we have over top of us right now. 70 degrees at the airport. Dew point is at 61. So that number's still high. It does drop off this afternoon. Calm winds. And as we look at the satellite and radar, there's some of those high clouds. We still have some low clouds in place, but a nice hole in the clouds is developed out near Uvalde. So almost full sun there. Some sun around Lakey and Bandera. And we've seen some sprinkly showers show up. Basically Gonzales points east, Victoria down to Bevo, and then up towards Bryan College Station. Not a lot here. We may see a shower or two pop up, but we're just not expecting much today. So your forecast, just a 10 to 20% chance of rain. Temperatures will make their way up to 73. Cloudy to mostly cloudy skies with the light southerly winds becoming northeast a little bit later today. We'll take a look at the New Year's Eve forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Look forward to that. Thank you, Justin.
There's more than just COVID-19 going around right now. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has now issued a health warning that there's a virus. It's called paracovius. It has been detected. ABC's Justin Finch explains what it is.
Paracovirus is a group of viruses most common in the summer and fall that the CDC says most kids have had by the time they've reached kindergarten. According to the Cleveland Clinic, they can cause infections, including symptoms such as fever, rash, upper respiratory infection, and diarrhea. Paracovirus is dangerous in newborns but causes milder symptoms that often go undiagnosed in older kids and adults. Most kids are asymptomatic or have mild cold-like symptoms that can spread through respiratory droplets or found in the intestinal tract. While most kids who get infected do fine, infants 3 months and younger can develop seizures, meningitis, or severe sepsis from paracovirus. To reduce the risks, health experts say parents or caregivers don't need to do any differently. Routinely washing hands and taking precautions like wearing a mask or isolating if you have a fever can prevent its spread along with other viruses. Because this virus isn't routinely tested, pediatricians and child healthcare providers should keep it in mind. For the most up-to-date information, go to cdc.gov or talk to your doctor. With this Medical Minute, I'm Justin Finch, ABC News.
The Food and Drug Administration is adding sesame to its list of major food allergens. This is a result of the Food Allergy Safety Treatment Education and Research Act signed into law last year. Sesame will join the major food allergens list, which includes milk, eggs, fish, shellfish, tree nuts, peanuts, wheat, and soybeans. Foods with sesame will now be subject to regulatory requirements, including labeling and manufacturing protocols. Sesame allergens can cause various symptoms, including coughing, vomiting, diarrhea, shortness of breath, and drops in blood pressure.
A rare snow owl seen in California, what the residents there are saying about it.
Pretty bird. Dr. Pepper is seeing a growth in sales, but who's their competition as of late, and why are they their competition?